Hello, 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 everybody. Happy Sunday to you. Hope you have or are having a great weekend. Just get my desktop all set up here and we will get into it. All right. I think that is good there. Let's just move some stuff around here. All right. And let's see here. Is YouTube showing us live? Are they? Oh, there they come. All right. I think that is good there. So welcome everybody. So happy to see everyone. Hi. Beautiful energy today. I've got a beautiful excuse me, rose quartz raindrop crystal here, making its presence known. It wanted to be in today's reading. Just feel like there's a good I don't know, a good I wouldn't say need necessarily, but a good um, adding to our experience today. We'll put it that way, of having some beautiful centered love energy, which is what we'll start off with here as well, in bringing some love into the world, bringing it into us first, filling us up, and then flowing out to the world. So if you'd like to join me, whether you're watching live or on replay, we can do all that together. So first, let's take a big deep breath in through your nose or mouth, whichever is comfortable for you. We'll hold it for like 5 seconds and then release. So let's do that real quick here. So big deep breath in. Beautiful. Letting the chaos of the world fall away for a moment. And I do have our lovely singing bowl here. And so I'll hit it 3 times. Each time, just imagine a giant waterfall filling up our heart where we're full, overflowing, and then it flows out to the world. So here we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me in doing that. Put her back here. Let her finish out her song. She's still singing back there. Put that right there. All right. So welcome, everybody. All right. So before we get into everything, do want to share a couple of things. So, of course, we happy Capricorn full moon. We're still experiencing that. That was early this morning. I had previously said it was Monday morning, and a friend of mine was like, so excited to do my full moon release. I go tonight, like last night. They're like, yeah. I'm like, isn't that like Sunday into Monday? I'm like, no, it's Sunday morning. And I'm looking at my calendar. I'm like, oh, I don't know what I was looking at, but so apologies for that. But here is the pick a card for the Capricorn full moon. If you want to see about how to make the most of the release energy that comes with it. and then also the pick a card that's in there. So be sure to check that out. And we have a new podcast out today. My Chaos to Cozy podcast, I'm moving to monthly, but I'm introducing what I'm calling the Cozy Care Bears. Here's the link to this. One of my praying mantis members, Sue, she has water wisdom healing. And so we have a great podcast, excuse me, where we talk about how water is healing, and she just was on this amazing journey. She's had water involved in her life all of her life, but she recently found different modalities, and we talk about some of those, and we'll have some future ones too. So be looking out for some new ones coming up, because I have some guest speakers coming in and sharing some of their chaos and the tools and different things they use to help transform their lives to more cozy as well. So I love that. And then tomorrow we enter Leo season. So happy birthday to all of you Leo sun babies. And for all of us, we have a pick a card. But for you Leo sun babies, you do have a 3-month bonus birthday reading in there. So be sure to check those out. And in with Leo season comes the Lionsgate coming out on August 8th. I was going to have this come out on July 31st, but Spirit had me put it out there yesterday because they're like the energy is already starting to influence us tomorrow as it starts to grow. It culminates on August 8th is when the Lionsgate portal is the biggest, and then um, kind of tapers off, but the energy will impact us for all of the year from August 8th to August 8th of next year. This one has 8 gateways you get to choose from. You can choose from as many of them as you want, but it's a special pick a card with 8 choices. Usually it's 3, but they wanted 8 gates because there's 3, I'm not 3, there's 8 special gates that are available for this Lionsgate portal for this year because of everything that we're going through over this next year with Aquarius being ruling over Pluto for that period. There's a lot of significant changes that are happening in our world. And this is the first year that it's being implemented. So all these gates help us with this chaotic energy that will be around there. We can either be in it, out in the storm, or we can be in the center of the storm, and these gateways help us stay centered. So be sure to check those out. What else? What else? I think those were the big things. Well, we got solstice readings going on here too. So we've got with Leo, we've got 2 months left for in our solstice, and these relationship readings are good for another 2 months as well. It was a 3-month reading. So if you haven't checked them out, this is for each individual zodiac sign, and it breaks it out within each zodiac sign of single and looking, also in a relationship or slash married, and happy hermits. So it's not just about love. Happy hermits are usually people who are like, I'm not looking. I'm okay with where I'm at. I'm in a relationship with spirit and the world, and I'm not looking for a relationship. So those are so it covers all of our areas there. Also, today is the last day that I have my relationship readings at half off. So the half-hour reading is $12.50 and the hour is $25. So if you're interested, I've got 6 different types of relationship readings that dive into things. So if you're interested, you can check out the link down there to my website too. We do have Mercury retrograde. We went into its pre-shadow a couple days ago on Wednesday. So in a couple weeks here, we'll be going full-blown Mercury retrograde. But we're starting to feel it now. If you want to look at the impacts of those, in the July monthlies, at the beginning, I have a astrological energy kind of forecast. I mention the important energy. So I do mention it there. And then also in my astrological Zenergy playlist, there is a retrograde guide it's one of the first videos I recorded, which talk about how to make the most of retrograde energy, because we're in it half our lives. So retrogrades impact us all the time. And so if we're aware of the energy and we can use it like editing, bringing things off the shelf, it supports it. And so instead of going, it's like when the tide's coming in, you don't try to launch your boats and go out, and do that because you're working against the tide coming in. And then your boat capsizes, you don't have much success, it's struggling. So when the tide's coming in, fishermen don't launch boats, they repair their nets, they scrape off the barnacles off the boat, they do all the inner tasks and bring things, off the shelf, and they do things. And then when they know the tide's going to be going out, then they're like, all right, we're ready to go. And then they launch really easy. So there's great energy that we can use for retrogrades. So be sure to check those out. And then also, can't believe August is just around the corner here already, but August monthlies are out as well. So there you go. Those are the big things that are available right now. And I got a ton of other free content on my main page, but I like to make sure I share all the free things I'm doing because of my monthly YouTube channel members and everyone that makes donations during these lives, anyone that purchases any of my other things I offer that are all listed in the description box, and blessings to my wonderful host, who one of my best friends, who allows me to live in her basement at no charge. That's her gift to the world. Because of all those blessings, I'm able to do all this free stuff and do this free time. So that's why I want to make sure everyone knows that's available out there. Yeah, so that's the skinny and all those things. So we will get into, if you're new to my channel or new to these readings, welcome, welcome, welcome. How they work, I go down in order, first come, first serve down the free readings. And there's no special list, the chat is it. We try to keep it simple. Just put your question out there. If you don't want to put your business out there, you can ask for a general reading. Spirit knows, I'll pull cards and we'll see what comes in. I usually pull like 1 to 2 cards for the free readings. But if anyone makes a donation, I do prioritize those, step out of the free readings, dive deeper. Also, I pull more cards for donations, and then I return back and make my way down the list. You can donate by using the super chat on the bottom, or in the description box of the video, I have my Venmo, CashApp, PayPal, and Square. You can make a donation. There's no set dollar amounts. I know everyone's finances vary from like person to person, but even day to day with person to person and country to country. So I understand, that. And so I just, whatever you're able to give from your heart is the perfect amount. And I know not everyone can give. That's why I try to complete as many free readings as I can during my 2 hours. And lately, when I haven't been able to get through to my, you know, um, free readings, I'll try to come back on and complete them all at some point too. So there you go. Blah blah blah. Is that enough? Have you heard enough of me blabbing? Are you ready to hear from Spirit? Yeah, whoop whoop. Hey Patty. Shout out to one of my YouTube channel members, Patty, and Kritika Malhotra. You'll see their names in usually green with a little badge. Kritika is one of our winners. Each month, I do have 10 free Zen Cricket level memberships that YouTube gives me to give away for free. And that's going to be coming up here in a couple of weeks too. I enjoy doing that. All right. So I want to start off with Nelia here. Let's see. So you have another donation. Thank you so much for another donation. So, what I will do is, when I get to your additional donation today, I totally did a brain spirit fart. We'll call it a spirit fart. Well, it's not spirit. It was bruddaZEN. I Nelia had a donation yesterday, and I totally read in Infinity. I just came in, hello, hello. So Infinity, I I uh, I answered Infinity's question with Nelia's donation and totally spaced Nelia's question. So what I'll do, Nelia, is when I get to, I'll do yesterday's and those so they're all together, so you don't have to try to find two separate readings, if that's cool. And then infinity, if you didn't find it yesterday, I think this was about the Virgo getting together. When I get to this question, even though I answered it yesterday and I feel like spirit knew that it was you, I'll still pull cards again, and I'll make up for those because evidently bruddaZEN was off somewhere else, and spirit's like, oh, which I'm human, so that's what happens there too. And Theron, hello, hello. And Theron, I did also get to your question too. You had mentioned yesterday that I didn't get to your question, but I actually did in the morning. So if you look at any of my special sessions, I put your name in there in the comments when I listed everyone's name with the link to the video that your question was answered in, so you can find that for you for those too. All right, so enough blabbing, right? All right, so let's get into it. Today, I'm going to be using this Lost Soul Tarot. I mean, I love the imagery. It's like so simple, but so powerful as well. So we're going to use those. All right, so let's dive in. And Supernova, hello, hello. Thank you so much for your multiple donations. And let's jump in. So your first sticker is the salt shaker. So thank you for that donation. And here is your first question. So what do you need to know right now? Right now, like right now. Right now. All right, let's take a look here. So what does spirit want you to know right now? Oof. I know infinity, right? What's going on? I was like, what? But I did answer. If you want to check out yesterday's video, it'll be Nelia's, I think it was her fourth donation that I did that. Ah, is it relieved now? You do have the Ace of Pentacles coming in on the bottom of the deck here, which is all about new opportunities opening up in the outside world here for you. And yeah, I feel like it's focused in on opportunities. If you're, let me know if your stomach is still in pain. We'll send some energy to you and allow this release to come in. All right, let's see what else is coming in here. So, what is bringing this in? All right, we do have the Queen of Wands. So, there is this fire, this connection with spirit. And the Five of Swords is this battle between the head and the heart. And what brings this new opportunity that comes in here is this I don't know, it's like finding peace is very important for you, right? It's stepping away from the the confusion of the outside world, the chaos of the outside world, the expectations and expressions of fear in the outside world, and to um, step into your heart and then inward and upward with spirit. I just feel like this is this opportunity that's coming up. There's a lot of activity around it that requires a lot of mental activity, but I just feel like there's this message that's important for you to know that every moment is either of unconditional love or a cry for unconditional love. And so in the outside world, when people are acting putsy and mean, the way we're perceiving them is, mean and unkind and selfish and crazy. And what's going on out there? You guys are out of your minds. That it's a cry for love. It's little children crying for love. And when we look at it that way, we can transform things. We can look at things differently, with that. Yeah, and it could be your mom, but it could be just like these opportunities that are opening up in the outside world involve humans. And it could be, an opportunity to meet people, an opportunity to play music or interact with people. But when you interact with humans, you're going to get the humanity that comes out in them. And I feel like this is an important opportunity, just though, like, as these opportunities arise, when we're used to being by ourselves and spending a lot of time, you know, by ourselves, then it's like, oh, okay, realizing that, um, there's this piece of unpeace, but it's a piece, right, of their humanity being expressed there. Yeah. She just left and you were crying on the stairs. You're holding an apartment. Well, on purpose, right? You're like, I am in hermit mode. But and that has to do with your stomach pain too there. But we'll get to that one here in a minute. Yeah. And you have the Emperor card too. So here's about, the Emperor's energy of stepping up and realizing you are the one that rules over your life. And everyone, has an opinion about how you should rule your kingdom and your empire, your inner empire in your world that you're in. But, it's the emperor is about taking this stand, and these new opportunities are about you going, all right, thank you for your opinion. I see where you're coming from, but this is what I would like to do. And you create a plan, you put action behind it, and you stick to your, originality of what you're wanting to do. And people are going to say, oh, no, no, it has to be this way. And you're like, no, I would really prefer to do it this way. So if I have to wait for it, I will. And they're like, oh, no, 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 we can do that, you're fine, we'll have this, be able to happen. So I like that, for you there. Um and that you're stepping up on here. Yeah. It's not about screwing everyone else, but it's about honoring yourself, right? You're funny. And then you have temperance. Yeah, so here's the balance and the patience and, the pouring of the cups, that it's it's worth waiting to do things the way you wanna do it than, um, compromising your, you know, desire, you know? So if someone's like, "Well, no, you can only do this and this and this if you're gonna play music in my place," and you're like, and it's something that you're like, I'm not willing to compromise on this piece. You're like, okay, well, I'll keep that in mind for the future. But thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity. We don't say, well, screw you. We're just like, okay, well, thank you. And let me think about that. Um, and then you're like, I'm not willing. Am I willing to compromise in that? No, I'm not. So it's important, and it's okay. Sometimes we're like out of fear going, well, I don't want to lose this opportunity. But if and it's, am I being stubborn and is my ego kicking in? Or is it truly, it matters how I want to express the love in my heart? And it's like, no, that's a deal breaker for me. Then it breaks the deal, right? So I like this. And the nine of swords. Yeah, so here's the um the fears, right? These are the fears I was just talking about. Don't let the fears um make you compromise and make you do things that you don't want to do. You're just like, you know what? No, I got to stay true to me. So I like that. So I feel like that's what they want you to know right now, and that can be whatever it may be, um, going on, with the new opportunities. Doesn't necessarily need to be music, but if it fits wherever it is, then it's like, okay, if it has to do with your situation with your mom, um, you know, then that applies. But I feel like it's about opportunities that are opening up for you, that they want you to know that. All right. So that is for number one. So hang in there. And tears are good. Tears are release, tears are healing. You said you were just crying on your stairs. That is, totally um, not something that's weak. It's something that allows our emotions to flow out. It's like it's our emotions wanting to process and transform. So it's, very good to have there. It's getting dark because there's, I think, some clouds coming in. I might need to turn on a light here in a minute. It's getting very dark. As long as you can see the cards, that's all I care. All right. So let's look here at your second one with your hot dog there. And thank you for your additional donation there. You're a mini crybaby. You have a lot of emotion to release, but you also have a huge heart. That's part of your artistry is you're able to express emotion and you're not afraid to express it. So it comes with your territory too. But you want to know what your spirits guides want you to know about your stomach pain. And of course, disclaimer: I'm not a medical professional. Check out the disclaimer in the description box of the video. For all this. So, of course, tarot is for fun and always seek professional help for medical. This is for everyone medical, legal, whatever it may be. I'm not a licensed professional in any of those areas. So, of course, everyone ultimately makes their own decisions with stuff, right? So, you do have here on the bottom of the deck, you have the Six of Pentacles coming in. And the Six of Pentacles is about balance. You even have the Eight of Pentacles under there, which in the Nine of Pentacles, there's all this unfolding of all this outside world stuff that I feel is, you know, your stomach pain represents almost feel like ulcer kind of feeling of like our stomach, you know, um, when we are out of balance, then our stomach tells us, right? It's like, hey, either through upset stomach or constipation or pain and ulcers, when we have worry, it starts expressing itself out into, the world. And we can even search, stomach pain and emotional reason or spiritual reason, and we can look into that, right? Yeah. So it's important to have that looked at because they can give you this coding stuff for your stomach that takes it away like that too. But if you have access to medical, I would definitely look into that. But I feel like the root of it has to do with stress. And we'll take a look here, see what else. Yeah, the Page of Swords. So there is some, fears and mindset changes that can happen here. In fact, I think I've got my got this book, You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay, where she talks about, the reasons behind different things. And like, we'll see what stomach issue. I just feel like I'm being guided here. Yeah, so stomach problems, which, can be ulcers and gastritis and everything, is about dread, fear of the new, inability to assimilate the new. Um, a um, a wonderful affirmation that she provides here is you can say, life agrees with me. I assimilate the new every moment of every day. All is well. And for ulcers, since you've been feeling so badly, definitely go get it checked out. Don't make yourself suffer. Ulcers is fear, is the core of it. A strong belief that you're not good enough. What's eating away at you? Oh, and a wonderful affirmation for that is I love and approve of myself. I am at peace. I am calm. All is well. Mm, I love that. But definitely, if you're in a lot of pain, I'd recommend get that checked out. So this Page of Swords is the removal of fear because it's seeing things from a higher perspective and cutting away the fear. Why it's getting so dark? We must be having some thunderstorms come in. The darkness is arriving. Yeah, because you've got the Knight of Pentacles. This can do with impatience as real as well here. Um, and especially if you just had an altercation with your mom, your sleep was really hurting badly. That the stress, of course, agitates it even more, right? Yeah, and you have the King of Swords. So the King of Swords is all about, you got the page and the king really looking at things from a higher perspective and removing those the fears and looking at where's the stress coming from, right? Um, because those tears that are coming up and unfolding are, looking at our the fears that are coming up, right? Because when our little inner child feels unsafe and out of control, that's when it either cries, um, or fights and has a tantrum, right? So yeah, yeah, probably your guardian angels helping you here. Yeah, and the Four of Wands, the transformation, stabilized, balanced energy, and choosing joy, right? That helps us stress less. And when we're in higher vibration and we're out of fear, our body heals itself quite fast. But when we're in fear and lower vibration, it turns off our immune system, our digestive system, and all sorts of different things like that that come in with that, right? It's getting so dark. I'm gonna have to turn on a light here in a moment. Maybe all these cards are so dark too. It's like we're going into the shadow. But in here you have the Six of Swords and the Eight of Wands. And so as soon as we transform these, small T truths to capital T truths, when we step out of our fears, then this allows this movement to happen, the balancing, moving from choppy waters to calmer waters. And the Eight of Wands is a lot of, I feel like, is like the healing energy that comes in. But all of this, there's a lot of fears regarding the outside world and abundance, having enough, and just those things on the outside. Yeah. So it's the fear that's coming in there. So try doing some breathing, you know, deep breathing, doing some breathing exercises. Even search Google, just breathing exercises for stomach pain and ulcers. They might give you some special breathing that can help calm it until you can get in to see a doctor. Or if you have like an urgent care, you might want to go, um, you know, and have it looked at so they can bring you some relief instead of existing in pain, right? Sometimes we will avoid going to get help because we are punishing ourselves and feeling like we deserve to be in pain sometimes too. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? All right. Yeah, it stresses you out more. It's just adds to it, right? It's like fear kicks in and then it makes the ulcer worse, it makes the stomach worse. So take care of you. We love you, Nova. Stay with us, please. We need you. All right. Wow, it's so dark. Let me turn on a light here because you almost can't see me on the screen here. Ooh, spooky clouds. All right. Ta-da! Here I am. Hello, everybody. I'm back. Okay. And then, so yeah, so that's what they have for your stomach there. That's funny that it's the hot dog question had to do with your stomach. Are you eating well? But it is about balancing your physical life too, right? That all adds into it in addition to the emotional and the fear there. All right. And then your third one, thank you for that donation, the heart stickers. And I saw number 3 here, it is done here. So, what do your spirit guides want you to know about your emotional side and your heart and empathic abilities? I can't even talk. Blah, 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 blah. Let's take a look. So, what do they want you to know about your emotional side? Okay, emotional side and your heart and your empathic abilities. All right. So the 6 of Wands on the bottom tells me that they're very much proud of you and, want you to recognize how far you've come in your emotional side and, your heart and how much you have processed, how much you have transformed within you too. Um, yeah, and you got the Hierophant. So this is your higher self has drawn you inward and upward to really see things from a higher perspective, the capital T truths of yourself. And, you've transformed emotions, you understand emotions more, you have really brought a lot of your um, emotional blame that you blame, we all as humans, when we're younger, we blame, "They make me feel this way," but you really have made so much progress in transforming, going, "No, these are my emotions. I'm gonna look at these. Um, they're not wrong. These emotions are not wrong." And so you've been doing this and you've been spending time seeing things from a different perspective. And so there are, there is, yeah, I mean, here's your 5 of Cups card that you get a lot, right? Which is your poster child card of, this is your life, this is your journey, this is like the source of your music, is my emotions transforming into, um, music and lyrics because, when you hear like a 9-year-old sing a love song, you're like, "Yeah, right. You know what a broken heart feels like?" No. But, the kind of romantic broken heart, I'm sure they've had a broken heart when, we do experience it as children, but the more you experience and the more you process and the more that's you learning to bring your emotional vibration from lower to higher, right? This is a lot of what you've been going through, right? So I like that. And the Knight of Swords, again, this is the pursuit of seeing things from a higher perspective and a transformation, of that, type of, um, again, seeing your emotions from a different place instead of what we're taught of everyone else is responsible for my emotional choices and I'm responsible for everyone else's emotional choices. That's what we're taught. So everyone feels out of control because you can't make me feel any way. You can make it easier or harder for me to choose a higher vibration emotion or a lower vibration emotion. But I'm the one deciding. And when you're taught that you control my emotions, if I'm saying I'm sad and you try to do everything to make me not sad and I'm like, I'm still sad, you're like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but and then you're expecting, other people to make you unsad and they're doing everything they can, but you're like, why is my sadness not going away? Well, it's because it's up to us to look inward and look at our sadness and all of our emotions and everyone else. And so when you release that you're responsible for your mom's emotions, any siblings or family or people or your fans even, you'll eventually have a lot of that. I'm not responsible for that, but I can share what I've gleaned and learned about myself, and if that helps them, it helps them, but I focus on me, right? So, I like that. Yeah. I love it, I love it. And then let's talk about your empathy and empathic abilities here. Yeah, yeah, there is this, with the Knight of Swords, especially with all 3 of these cards, the Devil card, the Two of Swords, and the Knight of Swords. All of this is about our thoughts, our beliefs, our mindsets, and we learn this that we've got, stories that we put on things, emotions that it's like the emotions are almost like the soundtrack to our stories that we have in our head, right? And so when I change my story and I change my soundtrack, then the movie changes and it turns from a scary Friday the 13th part 26, to a love story that's an adventurous love story comedy instead, right? So there is this, and so there's this wonderful change that happens there. So I like that they're bringing that in, but let's see here. I think these are about your yeah, I mean, it does tell you here, yeah, because you've got the Two of Swords and the Two of Cups. So your empathic abilities and your empathy, it's all about your choice, right? I mean, you got the Two of Cups, which is the choice between the two, and the Two of Swords. So you have your choice of the story is higher or lower, the emotion is higher or lower. And so much of your emotional choices that come in with the Seven of Cups comes down here again to the King of Swords and the Eight of Swords. So the more that we question our stories, these small t true stories, the scary stories, and we can transform them into a story of unconditional love, then that's when the story changes. The story, usually a lot of, movies, books, everything else start out like chaos, and then we love the happy ending, and everything. Like the hero came in and saved the damsel in distress, or revenge was sought, or justice happened, or they discovered their inner power, and now they are embracing the hero and powerful person they are. We love a happy ending. Humanity does. Um, and that's because our life does end up happy ending when we're on the either in this lifetime or when we leave this chaotic place and we return back to this place of no pain, no suffering, everything else. And just knowing that's what's waiting for us allows us to, like, it's like if you're leaving a job that you hate. There's hope at the end of light at the end of the tunnel. It's like, you know what, I can endure another moment, another day. And I kind of feel like this is a wonderful, you know, um, change. And so the more you let go of these small t truths and these fears, the more we open up to higher vibration. That's where our empathy is clear and where we have clarity in what we're picking up. And it also allows us, I feel like you're learning to put up your little bubble. I know I provided some videos, and this is for anyone that this resonates with, that you have a huge heart and you feel a lot of people's emotions in the outside world. Let me find the videos here. I've got some of my Take 10 with Zen, the empathic bubble and the real gift of an empath. And so these are helpful, knowing, and even this heartache. Well, I'm gonna put this heartache, heartbreak ones out here too, just if any of these resonate. They're like 10 minutes or less each, but they provide some good stuff um, with these, because it allows us to understand what are our emotions, what are we picking up from others, what are we picking up from the world, and those types of things. And it allows us to build this kind of jello mold or whatever you want to put up, where everyone else's emotions go and we don't take them on as our own, and then we realize how we can connect with higher love and radiate it out and change environments too. So they're powerful, um you know to experience and go, oh, this is how I experience that. Yeah, and even if you listen to them again and go, oh yeah, I've been doing that and this is how that feels, okay, that reinforces it too. So I like that for you. Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine you know, if you have urgent care or something, uh, I would start to head there, Nova. You can take me on your phone, right? All right. So that is what they have for that one, my dear. And then, so your fourth one here, the rainbow unicorn. Thank you for that additional donation there. And I see you have a couple more, so we'll get down to those in a bit. Um, yeah, yeah, I know pain brings us back to right here, right now, doesn't it? But with continued pain, that's your body going, pay attention to me. So I would recommend you pay attention to them so that they don't get too angry with you. All right. So let's see, what do your spirit guides or Kurt want you to know currently? I feel like we're going to this inner child oracle because Curdy loves his oracle. Yeah, that does kind of sound like an ulcer. Again, I'm no medical professional, but that does sound like an ulcer. But I would go get it chicken. Yeah, yeah. Here you go. That's funny that you had a rainbow unicorn, and here's a Pegasus flying high. And it's go on an adventure. Today is the day to try something daring, like go to the doctor. I'm just kidding. Let's see what they have here. To go on an adventure is to awaken the explorer within. There is much joy to be had in adopting this spirit of exploration, even for a day. As children, life was a remarkable journey into the unknown, and remembering that excitement can help bring our joyful inner child to the surface. If you pulled this card or this card came up for you, then it may be time to try something new today. So there's a playfulness exercise. Says practice living in the moment and do something spontaneous. Doesn't have to be big, a big something, only a new something. And don't worry if the details are not perfectly planned. Some of the best memories can be made when you least expect them. Go on an adventure, either big or small, and do not let apprehension keep you from exploring. Apprehension will fade, but the wonder that is to be found will surely not. And it says, note, if you have anxiety around this exercise, please do something that feels adventurous but not overwhelming, such as reading a new book or trying a new dish at your favorite restaurant. You'll spontaneously combust into flames. Let's not do that. Be gentle with yourself and know that you will find your own beautiful, wonderful adventure that's just for you. I feel like this is their message really here about, this willingness. And the responsive journaling prompt that they have here for you is what emotions does the idea of adventure bring up in you? Is it something you believe you're capable of or will enjoy? How does your inner child feel about the idea of an adventure? So, this newness and this fear of new things that, they talk about with this ulcer energy, it could be your inner child is a little bit like, um, this um, acceptance and all is well, it's going to be fine. And it can be, even though your conscious mind is like, hey, yeah, let's go, yeah, when we read from this book about ulcers, and that, it said in there that it was fear of the future or fear of something. Let me see here. Just to do it. um Well, a strong belief that you're not good enough, but maybe it was the stomach pain. I just felt like there was something that talked about adventure and that it was, I don't want to do something, and that could be your inner child is not wanting to move forward in it, with that. Yeah, fear of the new. The stomach problems are dread, fear of the new, inability to assimilate the new. So this new adventure, there can be a combination of this energy. And so I feel like Kurt and your spirit guides are looking at how does your inner child feel about this new adventure, the unknown, where you're headed? And that can be a source of kind of the emotions that are coming up that are contributing to your stomach hurting. And if you have an ulcer. So I feel like that's what they're wanting you to know regarding that. Yeah. So, kind of look at that there. All right. So that's what they have for that one for you. So thank you for those multiple donations. And then I see you have a couple more. So I'll see those questions when we get down to there. But definitely consider going to some sort of urgent care with your ulcer or your stomach. No need to be in continuous pain. And if it's been a while, stop being stubborn. Don't make me send angels to spank you when I I'm not gonna go there with you. I'll be back to you, Nova. Much love to you, my dear. All right, so Nelia, you may or may not be here. Yes, Karina, you can definitely get a free reading. Thanks for having a sense of humor. Yeah, and for anyone new coming in, the process is for free readings. You just put your question in the chat. I do go down first come first serve. I do have several donations that I prioritize first. So if you want your donation prioritized, if you want your reading prioritized, a donation of any amount will prioritize it and put it in the list of the donations, and then I will uh, get to the free readings eventually too, sometime today. All right. So, Nelia. Hey, Shanji. Hello, everybody. Madam Bird. I see everybody. Hello, hello. All right. So, Nelia, thank you for your additional donation. And I see your free reading. We'll come back to that too. So, for the one that I totally missed yesterday, uh, again, thank you for being so understanding. You mentioned, I don't know how you keep all these things straight. Like, I don't know either, but evidently every once in a while I do overlook things, and so thank you guys for helping keep me honest and keep me on track. So the one I missed yesterday for you was about future job career and current job workplace. Any messages? All right, so we'll do that. And let me just see here. And then I do see Shay Shay had PayPal. So after Nelia, I'll be Shay Shay. And then we have Brenda, and we have Patty, and then Nova, and then Infinity, and then Gatuta Preda. Hello, hello. And then Nova. So thank you guys so much. I'm so grateful and so humbled by all of your love and support and all the thumbs up you guys give to. It is definitely something everyone can do that's free, and it helps spread the Zen love. So thank you for being part of the love tsunami and just a part of my adventure too. I'm just so grateful. So grateful. All right. So Nelly, let's take a look here. Future job and career. So this will be the future, and then current job and workplace. current job and workplace. Interesting. So 3 cards each. You do have the Eight of Wands and the Page of Wands on the bottom of the deck. And this just represent that there's a lot of energy and a lot of movement, and the amount of speed at which things will come in here do have to do with what you're focusing on the most here. Um, we'll look at the little independent cards here, but it does feel like, if I focus on what I hate about my job, I'm gonna be gonna be stuck there for longer because that's what I'm telling the universe I want with my energy, right? But if I start to look at what am I grateful for this job that I'm in currently, and then also other jobs that what I enjoyed about them, that brings in more either changes at your current job that make you like it there because you're drawing in more things that you do like about your work, or it opens an opportunity to go somewhere that offers those things, right? Otherwise, if you just quit a job and go to another one, and we haven't changed that, guess what? Wherever we go, there we are. That monkey with the sharp teeth that keeps biting us uh, is on our shoulder. It follows us wherever we go until we transform the monkey. That's funny. All right, so let's take a look at your current job first. That's where they want to go here. So, yeah, and I do see here you've got the Hanged Man, which is transformation at your current job and kind of this pausing and this waiting. It feels like things are kind of stagnant there. Even the Four of Swords is peace of mind, but it also is kind of like it's almost like beyond peace of mind. It's almost like not challenging, dull, um, like that not challenging energy. And you have the strength and the courage, but I feel like this is like your lion with your human self. This is your human self, and with the um, infinity symbol, that's your higher self. And I love that they have this pendulum here, that it's like they're helping guide you, and it is this job was part of your adventure, part of your journey, and there's a lot you can learn from it. While the we'll see what this new job is, your future here, but I feel like there is this change um, that you can make within. It's transformative. It's teaching you in this job to, okay, let me focus on what I enjoy about it and stop trying, and just be and enjoy it. Be yourself, enjoy it, focus on what you love, and see how it transforms things. But you're going to start to maybe even like it a little bit there more than you do now, and even contemplate going, maybe I could stay here, and then the new job comes. That's how it works for you with this. Let's see what this new job is coming in here. Yeah, all right. Yeah, yeah. So you have the Ace of Cups, which is all about new joy and new happiness in the new job. You have the King of Pentacles. It's even more money and it feels more abundant for you. And the Hierophant, it is something that you might have like um, additional training. It's an opportunity to grow and learn something very new. But it is the Hierophant too, is your higher self drawing you up to see something that's more in alignment with what you want to do with your life and where you want to head. But so I like all that, but it starts with what do I love about and appreciate about my job, and let me start having gratitude for it. Just be, not try to become anything there. Just be and go in and love it and enjoy it. And I'll tell you a quick story, and this is good for everybody, because when I was in corporate life, I talk about this every once in a while, probably a lot more than I realize, but I would like um, put in like almost to the point of a nervous breakdown, 4 times the effort than the average person, at least in my mind, I did. When I tried so hard and did so much and oh my gosh, produced so much, I would get a meets. I wouldn't get any of the promotions or raises that I was looking for. I was like, what? And I'm like, how can you not see how much I'm doing? And then I would be like, "Well, fine, you know what? I'm gonna do a fourth of the work. I'm gonna go back to just to do what's expected, and I'm gonna enjoy this. I'm trying so hard and it's not getting me anywhere. I'm making good money. I'm happy where I'm at, doing what positions I'm in. I'm just gonna love it. I'm gonna come in and serve my customers, serve my peers, help my boss in whatever way I can, and then just, I'm gonna do this." And even I was, and it was when I was a supervisor, so I'm like, my customer is also my representatives, my direct reports, and so I'm like, I'm gonna serve everyone. That's what I'm gonna do. And then doing a fourth of the work, I got promoted, I got bonuses, like, exceeds expectations, and I'm like, "What how does this work?" Well, it's because when I focus on wanting, 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 it would push things away, but when I just, like, focus on gratitude, I draw in wonderful things. So, I feel like that's an important thing for you. Alright, so that was your one from yesterday there, Nelia. So, thank you. See, it was worth the wait, though. All right. So many blessings to you. All right. Hey, Diana. Thank you for your dual donation. So, um, the kind of the order that's happening right now, just so everyone. So I'm gonna do Nelia, and then I have a PayPal for Shay Shay, and then I have two for Brenda, one for Patty, two for Nova, two for Infinity, then Gatuta, and then two more for Nova, and then you. So you're a little way down the list here, but I definitely will get to you today. I have about an hour left in this session, so we should be able to get to you. But if not, I will complete all donations and all free readings today too. So it's just a matter of when. So I will get to it though. So thank you for your donations. I really appreciate that as well, and welcome. All right. So Nelia, for today's donation, now that we're caught up to you here, we got the thinking one here. You want to know, what will your encounter be like with you and Whitney's dad? You only met once very briefly. All right, let's take a look here. Based on your current energies, what will your encounter be like with Whitney's father? Let's take a look here. All right. You know, I feel here, it feel ultimately on the bottom of the deck. I mean, you've got two of the victory and abundance cards with the Six of Wands and the World card. So I like it. I feel like ultimately it's going to be fine. You're gonna, get along famously, as they say. But you do have this power of choice here, because it's like, let go of expectations around it. With this Ace of Swords, this is, see things from a higher perspective. Just let all expectations go. Let all the fears, all the supposed tos and shoulds and need tos and have tos and musts, just take them as they are, and it's going to be wonderful. If you have expectations on you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to interact, and blah blah blah, it's going to feel like focusing on what's not happening, and then the fear, and that just brings in lower vibrational experiences. This Ace of Swords is, everything's going to be fine, just don't think about it. Kind of is what they're saying, right? They're like, just get out of your head and see things from a higher perspective. And you have the Two of Cups too, which is an important relationship. This does tell you that you guys get along very well, because that's about important friendships, relationships, that type of thing. But it's also the emotional choice card, is you get to choose how you feel about it. Um, and they're going to get to choose how they feel about it. And there's nothing you can do about it except make it easier for them to choose unconditional love by giving love. Just be you. Just get out of your head and into your heart and just be you, and you're going to be fine. They're going to love you. I just feel like with that World card and the Six of Wands, just if you stay out of here, we're all, actually, that's kind of good for anything in our life, right? If we get out of our head, out of all these fears and supposed to be's and should be's and need to be's and have to be's and must be's, that's where our stress comes from. And when we're stressed, we turn to a 2-year-old, and 2-year-olds don't do very well in social situations when things aren't going their way, they tend to have a tantrum or cry, and that usually kind of brings down a party. So get out of your head and into your heart. You're going to be fine. That's what I feel is coming in. All right. So that's what they have for you, Nelia. So many blessings to you. And thanks again for your wonderful understanding of my not being able to uh, accurately and properly answer your question yesterday. All right. So many blessings. All right. And then Shay Shay, you are up. So let me just scroll down a little bit here. All right. So Shay Shay. All right, Brenda. Got it. Got it. Got it. Woo woo. Hello. Hope you're doing well. And thank you for your donation. And let's take a look here. I'm doing pretty good. Living the dream. Living the dream. Now, so you're doing all right. You've been letting go of what no longer serves you. What an important thing, right? It's such a life changer of, yeah, what am I holding on to this stuff? I've learned what I needed to learn, so I don't need to hold on to this anymore. It's like holding on all your books growing up in grade school, right? You're like, I don't need these anymore. I can get rid of these. You block the night guy. Yeah, it's like, okay, you know what? I'm okay. I'm releasing things. So you're starting to get it now. That's great. It's as we know it here, right? And I feel like you're getting it into your heart, right? There's a whole new level of knowingness when it goes from our brain into our heart, and we're like, wow, I get it, right? And I love that. So let's take a look here. Yeah, I love that. Our worthiness. So you want to know a love reading for what's coming up next. All right, let's take a look here. Well, I tell you that you're getting it, at your age too is great. Some people get up into their 80s and 90s and then they learn. So I like that. That you're clicking. It's clicking now. Let's see what we got coming in here with all of this. Yeah. So I feel like it's good. You're learning a lot here, and I feel like things are going to kind of be a little bit slow for a little bit, which is all right. Whoa, because on the bottom of the deck you have the Queen of Wands, so you're really stepping into your power, right? And the Queen of Wands, in addition to connecting with her spiritual energy and being able to focus and her passions and live, she also has a Cups energy, which empathic abilities helps her connect to spirit even more. So the Queen of Wands is a very empowering, um, but connected individual who, when you look at the wand suit, the page and the knight and the king, they usually have a salamander to protect them from risk and the heat of the fire of the wands. The queen doesn't need it. She has a black cat instead, which is connection to spirit, and she doesn't feel like she's taking risk because she trusts this connection. She has this um, relationship that she builds, a trusting relationship when she's unsure. It's like in the giant maze of life when you're going through, it's so high we can't see over the walls, but we hit a point where I have to go left or right, and we're like, I don't know. And you're like, you dial up your, I used to call it the eye in the sky and go, hey, psh, psh. So left or right for my highest experience, they're like, take a right. And you're like, all right. Psh. And then boom, wonderful things happen. So it's like you're building this trusting relationship with spirit, and heightened one. And that makes sense here with the Leo strength card coming in here, between the lion being your human self and the beautiful person here that has this infinity symbol above the head is your higher self. And so you're developing this relationship with that. And the reason why I feel like it's going to be a little time of slowness, things kind of slowing down, is you have both the Knight of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles. Slowest moving knight, last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit as it unfolds here. So I feel like there is this kind of slowdown to give you that opportunity to connect with spirit more, and you really tuning in to your three of pentacles, which is your a true authentic self. Who am I? What do I want? And how do I tend to shrink? And how do I tend to try to, these fears of being rejected for, or punished for not being who people want me to be, or losing support for not being who they want me to be. It's this really strength with this strength card as well, of tuning into your self love and your self worth based on inward and upward and not the outside world. That's also helps you here too with, like you're talking about these feelings of what I deserve. I deserve more. Yeah, you do. But when we're looking to the outside world to define our worth, we end up on the clearance rack, right? Because we're like, well, they don't feel I deserve this much. They just feel this much. So now I'm on the if you, you're in your 30s, you might remember the Kmart blue light special. Maybe not. But it used to be in Kmart, which Kmarts are going away, but they used to have these carts with a little blue light, and they would have these special, for the next 15 minutes, the blue light, this is on 50% off, and people would rush over to it. So you don't need to be a blue light special. You get to go inward and upward and find your pricelessness instead. So you remember that. That's funny. So, and then also, this slowness period is allowing you to see things from a higher perspective, letting go of more of those small t truths that you were defining yourself by, and relationships and love. And there's a release that comes in, and there's peace of mind that comes in. But so for love, you are I feel like it's going to go do a little bit of a slowdown, that allows you to really, get in tune with your pricelessness and also everyone else's pricelessness, because you're seeing things from that higher perspective rather than from, a place of fear that we're taught. So I like this for you. Very empowering. So that's a little forecast for right now. They're just spend time getting to know your true authentic self, your higher self, and having your foundation of your worth instead of retail price of the outside world, right? That's retail price, but self-worth comes from inward and upward, from our self, our capital S self. So I love this journey, and I feel like it's going to, like I'm saying, it's like slow-mo for a little bit, but the more you raise your love vibration and your self-worth and that value that you have inside, the faster things speed up too. So I love it. It is, this whole journey in this human life is we start off on this, kind of low self-worth, and it's the journey back to really discovering our true worth, because our childhoods as humans seem to teach us all that we're worthless. Until we realize, oh, this was part of the play, this was part of the adventure. Got to start off low so we can, move higher. So that's what we have there. So that is what we have there for you. So many blessings to you. Hey, Karina, if I don't have you made a donation? If you do, there are several ahead right now. I'm just finishing up with Shay Shay. So I've got Brenda, then Patty, and then Nova, and then Infinity, and then Gatuta Preda, and then Nova, and then Diana. So there are a few head. I will get to everyone today. In about 50 minutes, I'll be heading off to spend some time with my praying mantis members, but then I'm going to eat and then I'll be back after that. So I will get to every donation, every free reading today at some point. But so that's kind of where we're at. Absolutely. You are very welcome. All right. So, Brenda, hello, hello. So, thank you for your dual sticker donations here. And we'll start off here with the unicorn. So, let's find you here amongst the stuff here. Good afternoon. So, your first question is all about in love for the rest of the week. New love or something coming in new, not sure about the old. LOL. I know, right? We'll take a look here. So let's see what Spirit has coming in. I'm just going to take a quick sip here. So what we got going on? All right. So love for the rest of the week. What do they want you to know? Is there new? Is there old? Is there something blue? What is it when you get married? Something old, something new, something blue, and something or other. Let's see here. Anything else? Okay. Thought there was one more. All right. All right. Well, your week is is filled with joy with the 10 of cups. So there is the feeling of love next week. You have the full card underneath it. That's why I said fooled. It's fooled with joy. And this full card, this is, and look, they're even bringing you a rose. Boo 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 boo. Let's see if it'll focus. There it is. So we'll see what this is coming in here, what they want you to know. But there is some joy, and it doesn't necessarily have to come from romance either, when we're looking at things. So, we can, kind of go, all right, let's see what's coming in here with all of this. But I like it. It's like you're on this adventure without expectations, and there's this opportunities for great joy next week. So let's see here. So you've got the Two of Swords. Part of this is getting out of your head and into your heart. Let's see what else we have here. You got the Four of Wands, which is joy, joy, joy. So this is reinforcing here because those other two cards were on the bottom of the deck, right? So we're getting into the details. All right. Well, you do have new passion coming in. Brenda. No, I'm just kidding. I'm like being your older brother, your older big bruddaZEN. Brenda, what's going on here? Let's see what we have here. All right. So, your spirit team, of course, is reminding you here the Five of Pentacles, about the journeys that will be happening here are going to bring up the fears that we have. The Nine of Swords is you're getting close to letting go of a lot of these supposed tos and shoulds and need tos around relationships and around what they mean about you with the Five of Pentacles, because these fears we have go back to our childhood when even it comes to romantic relationships and everything else. The core of it all is we fear rejection. We fear someone's thinking we're not good enough. They're going to treat us like we're undeserving and or not giving us what we feel we deserve too, right? But there's this, you're getting to the point, the Nine of Swords is like you're almost to the point of exhaustion of trying to find someone that's going to match up to what you feel these supposed tos and shoulds are, right? And so we do good. We take some time away. It's been a couple weeks, right? Since, a lot of romantic, you know, um adventures, right? Of being on dating sites or having people interested or whatever. We're like, all right, I'm ready. I think I'm ready to test and see where I'm at. Well, this will be the test. And I'm sorry, Brenda, but they're not going to pass the test, even though they're going to bring you joy and it's like a new adventure. Because these pop up, they bring back these to you to go, okay, so where are you at on releasing these fears? Where are you at on your worthiness of, and when we go from looking at here's our higher self and our human, this is coming up quite a bit, but this is our human, and when we look to our higher self for our worth, right? we feel priceless, we feel overflowing and joy, right? And then when we go, okay, I'm ready to date. I think I'm ready. And then we, look to a human, and then the human goes, yeah, you're amazing, everything else. And then they don't text us for a couple days, and then they say something stupid. And then, and they're like, you're like, what? Really? Yellow rose of friendship? Where's the red roses? What's going on? And they're not meeting some of these thoughts and beliefs that we forgot were there or that were stuffed down, and then disappointment kicks in, and this disappointment is our mirror to show us, oh, so there is more in here that I can look at, because i'm I've went to retail price instead of my when I'm connected to my higher self, I feel priceless. I feel powerful, limitless, endless. And then when I interact with human romantically, then I feel limited and small and worthless. And like we were just talking about, feeling like I end up on the Kmart blue light special. And I'm like, I'm 80% off. What happened? Right. And so, um, we've got this, energies you know, um, of like a new passion coming in this week, and there's joy, but then there's also those, okay, it's not that it's short lived, but it's like you start to go, all right, I see here how this feels. I feel the pressure coming in. I feel the fear coming in that they're going to do something stupid like the rest of them. And sure enough, you will see it when humans, when we're in our humanity, we do stupid things. When we go into fear, we do stupid things. When other people go into fear, they do stupid things too. They do 2-year-old stuff. They're like, they're not acting like an adult. They think that that is enough. So that's what's coming in with that there, Brenda. So hang in there, my dear. It is part of the journey and the adventure. And it's always, I used to, I don't really go onto dating sites and stuff anymore. I'm just so content with me in spirit that I'm in a hermit place in my life. But I used to go on a dating site at least once a year, sometimes twice a year, just as a reminder. Oh, that's right. That's why I don't go on here. But it's a good check-in. It's like, all right, I feel like I've obtained a lot of knowledge and progress. Let me test it and go, "Oh, okay, yeah, I see where I've improved and where I feel like I'm freer, but then, oh, I also see where I can put a little more attention onto." So I feel like that's what's kind of coming in. Yay. All right, let's see. And then you changed your question to, let me find that down here. Scroll, 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 scroll. All right, so that's where your original question was, and then boom, 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 boom. Here it is. I changed my second question. What's coming for me in general for the rest of the month? Absolutely. We'll take a look here. And of course, if you haven't checked out your July monthly, be sure to check that out too, because there's a lot of information in those too, if you haven't checked it out already. All right, so let's take a look here. In general, for the rest of July, which, gosh, I can't believe it's already July 21st. Crazy. So you have the judgment card coming in here, which is your higher self calling you to see things from a different place and a different viewpoint. And it's kind of the calling card. It's like, I feel like the rest of July, there's some clarity about who you're wanting to be and what you're wanting to be in this life. And I do feel like a part of your journey and adventure, one of the things you really wanted to experience in this lifetime was being a mother. Other lifetimes, you weren't, and you couldn't, and or you died before you were able to have children, and or you were a man, in other lifetimes. And I just feel like a big part of this lifetime has been, I want to feel like what it is to embrace mother. And I love that for you because I feel like you're such a good mom. You're such a good nurturer. That's why you attract a lot of children in men's bodies too, because um, like they didn't get nurturing and they just are. It's like a moth to a flame. They're like, "Mama," and you're just like, I don't need another child. I have enough. I also want to experience love, equal partnership love. I don't want to be someone's mother. And I feel like this is a lot of the draw that comes in. These inner children are just, they see you and they're just like, and you're like, no. But I feel like this is kind of what you're learning here. Yeah, I mean, literally, Queen of Pentacles, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. You can't make it up. So I definitely feel like this is a big piece of that you're learning about yourself. And then you're also learning about, you know, why you're drawing in who you're drawing in. And as you become the mother to your inner child, that helps transform the energy on what you draw to you too, because the more you embrace your inner child and give it all the unconditional love and attention and time, then you stop drawing in other people's inner children. And that's, I feel, a big part of what you're going through in your inner journey, which I love this for you. Yeah, the 8 of Cups. So you're definitely leaving behind emotions that no longer serve you and relationships that no longer serve you. And I feel like a big piece of this particular one, because I know you've been like going, nope, 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 letting, cutting off a lot of different emotional relationships with those other inner children out there. But this is about transforming some of this inner energy that's, happening within you there. So I like that with this coming in here. Yeah, and peace of mind, the 4 of Swords. So mental stability coming in. But I feel like these are ahas, you really understanding things, especially when you embrace that I wanted to be a mother. And even why did I want to be a mother in this lifetime? What have I experienced being a mother in this lifetime? What does mother, capital M, mother mean? And what emotions bubble up from that? I like that energy coming in here. And the 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, this does have to do with that inner child energy too. And I probably have mentioned it before, but blah, blah, blah. You know how I am. If you guys don't know who I am by now, you will very fast, right? But the episode 5, the 6 of Pentacles, which I talk about a lot in here, talks about the imbalance that we have. Our inner child, when it's younger, has this way out of a balance where it feels it has to give so much to deserve so little. And so check out that video because I feel like that also helps with the balancing of the inner child worth energy that's below the surface there. So, and if you've listened to it before, it doesn't hurt. It's 10 minutes or less. Just see if anything new comes out when you listen to it, coming at it from that different perspective there. So I love that for you. What a transformational, beautiful remaining couple weeks here. I just feel like it takes you a lot forward in your adventure. So I like that. All right. So many blessings to you. Hey everybody. Angie, how much donations are whatever you're able to give from your heart. I don't look at dollar amounts. I know everyone's finances are different, and $1 million to a trillionaire is the same thing for us regular folk, for a dollar, right? It's like, okay, I get it. So whatever you feel you're able to give is perfect. So, and you can use the super chat, or in the description box of the video, we do have Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and Square, whatever's convenient for you. All right, so that is what they have for you there, Brenda. So thank you for your dual donations. I am so grateful. All right, and then Patty, you said that I can move yours to our praying mantis session. So thank you. I'll still give it some love and a like here. And so I'll catch you there. Thank you for doing that here because I feel like we're going to run out of time. So thank you. And I'll see you in our praying mantis session. You're so gracious. And then Nova, we've got number 5 and number 6 here, the banana and the unicorn. So let's see here. Number 4 was that one. All right. So let's find number 5 here. Oop, there's number 6. Let me scroll up and let me highlight number 6 so I can see that. Where's number 5? Scroll. Sorry, let me just find it here. Okay, so there's number 4. Okay, see there. Okay. Sorry, I'm just going a little slower to make sure I'm not overlooking number 5 somewhere. Oh, okay. So I see 5 is down here, 6 is there. Okay. I got you. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Thank you, Nova. You're like, I rewrote it. So 5 is down here and then 6 is above it there. Okay, got it. So how has no problem at all. After last night, I'm kind of not trusting myself as much as I normally do. I'm like, I might be overlooking it. So no problem at all. So with your self-expression and creativity, how has it changed and grown? How have your song work developed and continue to? All right, yeah, let's take a look here and see what's going on. So let's take a look. Thank everybody for your patience as I go through the readings. I do like to give them their due diligence and what spirit, of course, they're in control. So I appreciate you guys with all that. Patience. All right. So definitely here with the Page of Swords on the bottom, I mean, your expression and how your creativity has changed so much. The clarity that comes through now is so different from the beginning. If you think even like a year ago, how confused your mind felt, a lot, right? And that how clarity has really comes in, right? When we're in fear, we feel confused, it's staticky, we don't have that connection to creativity. It's hard for us. That's where, when we have people have writer's block and stage fright and all this kind of stuff, there's all that stuff, right? And so it's like they're showing me how staticky and brain foggy and how confused we felt, a year ago. And now you're just like, because you've cut away so many fears, so many thoughts and beliefs. You've really done so much inner work. I just, I know we as humans, we just don't get it how much we grow and how fast we grow because we're always with ourselves. We talk about how we're always here, with ourselves and it's like someone who hasn't seen me in a year suddenly sees me and I've grown like I used to shave my head. I've grown my hair out a little bit and people are like, "Wow." And I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Your hair is so long." And I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, you haven't seen me in a while." But with me, you know, I don't recognize it. So I feel like they're telling you here, right? Yeah. In a whole year, what? And the 8 of Cups too. You've also, in addition to the clarity of mind and mindset, you've also with the 8 of Cups have let go. I don't feel like you've let go of relationships so much because I don't feel like you had a whole lot to get rid of. and I can relate. I'm like, you know, if spirit says you need to release relationships, I'm like, which one? The one I have just with my friend and all of you? You guys are like my main contact, which I know seems weird, but I feel your energy and I feel connection with all of you. But for this, it's more like you've transformed and let go of emotion and you've really processed a lot. And that's also part of the flow. It's like you've removed um, clogs in your emotional pipeline, so your emotions flow, really, um, you know, more smoothly and more effortlessly. I guess I would say. Yeah, and let's see what else we have here. Yeah, so these three cards coming out together. You got the Nine of Pentacles, which is this feeling of independence, and um, it's like you don't feel lonely, but you like being alone, and that's okay. Because in that, this is where you have this Knight of Cups, where you've learned this. This is you've been on this quest. It's like a lone knight on a quest for emotion, and you're like, it's like if I don't know if you watched Witcher, um, but they liked being by themselves and doing their adventures, and when like the little songster guy that went along with him, he wouldn't give up, and you're gonna be my friend. It's like that's what I feel like you're gonna have come in here. But this has been an important journey for you to be on with yourself, and of course with spirit. So you've always had them along. They're the ones that are like, always around you. And the Seven of Wands too, about, you know, this is you being more true to you and not dimming your light and not um asking permission to shine. So this journey that you've been on has really helped you to step into this um confidence and who you are and doing that, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're like they're with you, right? And then what is coming here for you? Wow, so wonderful, wonderful, I feel like where you're headed and where you're going with all this too. I mean, you've got the Eight of Pentacles, which is you've been putting in the blood, the sweat, the tears. And this is all the little wheels that are turning in the outside world. You're going to see the fruit of all this that you've been doing. And I don't feel like you were doing it for like, well, I got to do this so that I get rewarded. I feel like you were just like, this is what I got to do to live, because otherwise if I don't do this, I feel like you had this feeling like you were going to die. It's like I've got to do this or I'm not going to have the will to live, and my will is going to I'm just going to like you said, I'm just going to combust. I'm going to go and it's like, no, I'm doing this for me, but now all the fruit of that you're doing is coming. I like this. And the Six of Swords is, as you're leaving behind old ways of thinking and old things, you are moving forward. Whoa, didn't mean to hit my microphone. And then the Wheel of Fortune. So this is this knowing that, and this awareness coming in that, everything happens on purpose for a purpose, and that this you're going to see the benefits, you're going to see the mighty harvest that comes in from all this. Yeah. Yeah, right. And then your cat where's your cat moo? they're gonna they're gonna be like, um people always say, people that own dogs are like, I know I'm gonna die, my dog's gonna eat me. And then you're like, but your cat, you wake up in the middle of the night and it's chewing on your toe going, oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were dead. So you want your cat to eat you. So definitely, I love that. Your spirit is not going to let you. They're going to like intervene if you ever like go in that direction where you're feeling like I just should be out of here. They're like, get out, snap out of it. So I love it. I love it. Which is a great place to be. I mean, I know I've talked about that. I was in a place where I was going to kill myself when I was like 22. But there's something about facing death and facing the choice of ending life or that my life is ending that makes you wanna live, and whenever I get stressed, I kind of in my own mind take myself back to that point of death going, "What's the worst that could happen?" That, so I'm gonna go forward and enjoy. So I like that. So I like that. Yeah, I love that. I love it. All right. So that's for that one, Nova. And then number 6 is, what does Kurt want you to know about broken hearts? Oh, call to ask. Absolutely. That's an amazing thing about the the myth and story of a broken heart. And we come down here, to experience this. And I'm actually just going to channel their message. They don't even want me to pull cards here, but so there's this great story that we come down here because our hearts are so powerful, they could never, ever, ever be broken. And but we come down here to this wonderful, wonderful, um, like adventure theme park or this giant play that we want to experience what it might feel like to have a broken heart, to be less than, to be small, to be devastated. All of these lower vibrational, small t truth emotions that are rooted in fear. Uh, on the other side, there's nothing to fear. We are powerful, eternal spirit beings made of unconditional love in a place where there is no fear. There is, we're a part of the mighty creator. And it's like there's just endlessness and powerfulness. So we come down here, we, I'm gonna, imagine and pretend that I'm this thing that's fragile and that I can be heartbroken. But the truth, that's the small t truth, right? Where that's the drama. Oh, I've been heartbroken. I'm a victim of life. That's what we come down here to experience, and we all do. Um, in life, right? And it's that contrast that we come here. It's like that's one of the most famous and the line's the longest on that fear ride. I don't want to be brokenhearted. I don't want to be less than. I don't want to be rejectable. I don't want to fail. I don't want to be, die by myself on the outside of skirts of town and get eaten by wolves. And so, yeah, I mean, it is like the prick in our heart, though, isn't heartbreak, even though it's like, well, explain this feeling because spirit, when they tell us about this, is like, well, tell me about what this feels like in my heart when, like I remember the first time I found an email. This was way back, many years ago before cell phones and everything. I know there was a time before cell phones where pagers were just coming out, and my first boyfriend, I found an email that I think it was on, it must have been on AOL. I know, way back then, the dial-up times. And I found an email that they were trying to hook up with someone, and my heart broke. It felt like, no, and I know, are you woe about how long ago that was? In the olden days when the dinosaurs would battle us to be online on our through our dial-up. But I can remember that. I'm like, well, explain that feeling. Like, they always say the first cut is the deepest, right? The song, the first cut is the deepest, and it feels so deep and hurtful, right? We're like, well, explain that, spirit, if there's no heartbreak or heartache, right? But they're like, that's fear, and so they showed me, and this is what Kurt's bringing up, is that, when someone scares us or something startles us and we hear that, that's the same feeling, right? When I really look at it, you're like, oh my gosh, it is the same feeling, except that, yeah, literally chest pains, exactly. When we when when you realize that, like, my brother and I used to take turns scaring each other when we were growing up, and when I realize it's my stupid brother, you know, you know, then it stops, it dissipates, the pain goes away because I'm not in fight or flight mode. Because that's what's happening is the prick is us going into fight or flight mode. I gotta protect myself, I'm in danger, right? So the difference between that and heartbreak that we feel is heartbreak is an emotional pain. It's an emotional monster that it's a trigger that comes up. And if we were able to, like, let's say it's like, like me finding that and going, oh, they're cheating on me. If I immediately, the trigger count and go, oh, this is just my fear that I'm not good enough because of their actions. Okay, I can release that. And then the pain would go away and then I wouldn't feel heartbreak, right? Yeah, exactly. And that's the whole thing with, happiness and laughter does get rid of that pain until we remember, "Oh, that's right. I'm heartbroken." But it's the when the fear comes up, like, "Oh, wait a minute, I'm not lovable." Because that's really what the fear is that bubbles up from the surface is that their actions or words or non-actions and silence or ghosting or whatever means I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough. And really, when we realize if we once we transform and um, face those lies and we're like, oh no, their actions tell me about them, but this feeling of unworthiness is mine, and when I transform it, then I don't feel that way ever again because my heart and mind know it's a lie. But until we do, it loops, right? And like you say, when we get distracted, the it goes away because we're not in fear anymore because we're not focusing on this belief, this emotional belief. Or when we go to sleep, it goes away. We wake up, we're fine until we remember, "Oh, that's right. They did that thing. I see their picture, or I see that thing they gave me, or whatever. Something reminds me, and then it's back. No." You know, but that's what, heartbreak is. It's not real. It's just fear. And when we realize that, I mean, it's real, it's a real feeling, but it's not, our heart isn't really broken or small. We're able to transform it, right? About a grape. What is it? Sometimes I feel like a forgotten grape on the ground that I feel I stepped on and crushed, and I'm sad, a little grape. Yeah, right. It's like, but it's a reminder, it's a mirror. And that grape and also their actions, other people's actions or non-actions, right? They are mirrors for us to show us what we want to see about ourselves until we see it. And that's what happens. Like all of my three exes that cheated on me out of the five, they were mirrors showing me what I wanted to see about myself. And so is that grape. If you step on a grape and go, oh, you poor lonely grape. Oh, this is about me, not about the grape. The grape's like, I'm fine. I don't have feelings. I'm like a turd. A turd doesn't have feelings. Flush me. I don't care. So, so it's a great question, and I'm glad you asked that. But because I feel like that's good for more than just for you and me. All right. So that's what they have for those Nova there, and I'm about 15 minutes away. And I've been going a little deeper today, so thank you guys for your patience as we're diving into these. So I definitely appreciate it. So, and make sure to put your additional questions there, Nova, too, if you haven't. Yeah, those were from Kurt. They were I was just channeling their those messages. They wanted to share that story because that's what a broken heart is. And they're like, yeah, he was like, talk about that. I'm like, yes, sir." All right. So, so just for I'm going to be on for about 10 more minutes. So let's hear. So Infinity, we've got two for you, and then we've got Getuda, two for Nova, two for Diana, and and then that's what I have. for the donations. Those will be up first when I return, and I will dive deeper into those too. So thank you guys for your patience in getting to those. And then all the free readings I will do after that in the session as well. But I'm going to do a couple more here with infinities. I might even get to Gertruda's. It depends here on spirit. And so we'll do that. So infinity, you just watched the reading about the Virgo, resonated. I don't need to pull more cards. Okay, great. I thought that they would they had the proper message come through, even though I had the wrong name. They're smart. They knew. So thank you. Absolutely. All right. So your first question coming up here, Infinity. Let's give that a love and a like here. So thank you for that donation. So you had felt like you and Elle are soulmates, so maybe you're destined to be together, but he really doesn't feel that same way, right? Let's take a look here and see, based on current energies, what is going on here with that. All right, sorry, my phone is blowing up here. Let me just make sure there's not any kind of danger going on anywhere. Okay. Nope. All right. So let's take a look here and see about L. So how does he feel? And just what does spirit want to add in there, around this too? Yeah, we got all these fours. I mean, you got the bottom of the deck. We do have the Emperor card coming in here, which is this, like they're trying to decide what they want. I don't feel like they know what they want, like the human side of them. I feel like they're in this, like, I don't even know what I want. I don't feel like they're, definitely they don't have this feeling right now of like, we're soulmates. I don't feel like they even like have that belief system. It's what I feel. I feel like they're just trying to figure everything out. And, you know, with that, and I feel for you that with this Queen of Cups, that you feel a lot of past life connection with them, right? And that there's this draw that you have together that has brought you guys together, and um, and so I feel like you are like you have this connection with your Akashic records and these past life emotions that go like you guys have been lovers and you've been a bunch of different things throughout different times in your life. And I feel like this is where a lot of draw comes from this as well. I know we talked about some other stuff about the draw, but this is also something that's just good to know below the surface that you're accessing a lot of emotion that's not from this lifetime too. That comes in here. But I feel like they're, with all of this, the sun and the knight of wands and the magician coming in here, they're kind of being drawn by passion in this lifetime. And I don't feel like they're just because of their struggle with self-love that they don't have that um awareness and connection to the heart like you do. They're just kind of like stuck in their heads and in their passion here with the 4 of wands and the 4 of swords coming in here. So, we've got this energy here of, you know, they're kind of stuck in this place and they haven't been able to get beyond it with the 4 being the emperor. They're trying to find stability and they're just not getting it. And so I don't feel like I just feel like a lot of confusion about life and uncertainty and um I want to say instability, but I don't mean in like they're mentally unstable or anything like that. Just they're like they can't choose. They're just like all over the place on what they want in life and they think they got and they head off in a direction like no, that's not what I want. I just feel like they haven't figured stuff out. But and so the soulmate energy, they don't feel that, they don't understand it, they don't get it. Um, and so I don't feel like that they have it. I don't feel like they are going, "No, you're not my soulmate," because I don't feel like they're like, "Soulmate? What do you mean by that?" I feel like they're more focused on I just feel like they're hyperactive. This is what I'm seeing in my mind is like a little kid who is hyper, who like has ADHD that just jumps from all these things that can't get any one thing done because they see something else and then move to it. Like they don't make any progress on stuff because they can't focus. They have lack of clarity, if that makes sense. So hopefully that helps their infinity. But that's what they have coming in for that. All right. All right. Sure, Infinity. Thank you so much. You're so gracious. So we will jump to Gatuta. So thank you for your donation, Gatuta, and thank you for your graciousness there, Infinity. So we'll give that a love and a like there. So and this will be the last one for this, and I'll get to everyone else here when I return in about an hour and a half. I'm going to spend about an hour, most likely, with my praying mantis members, and then I'm going to eat some breakfast since I haven't eaten yet, so I don't pass out. And then I'll be back and I'll complete everything out as well. So you want to know why Adrian doesn't contact you? Because he's stupid. Just kidding. That's not judgmental. That's just meant to be humor, but it's true, right? Right? Gatuta. If he was smart, he would contact you, but he doesn't even know what's good for him here, does he? Well, there's a lot of fear that keeps him, from doing things here. With the 3 of swords on the bottom of the deck, the 3 of swords is like this, they've got a lot of expectations that they felt have been on them their entire life. And I just feel like they've been told over and over and over again in a variety of ways from a variety of different people, you failed, you're not good enough. Why aren't you being who I want you to be? And so they have a lot of this. It just takes a little bit of an inkling of I'm not going to be able to live up to someone that they run from. Is what I feel like with this 3 of swords on the bottom of the deck. Let's see what these other cards are too here. Yeah. 5 of swords. So yeah, there definitely is this battle between their head and their heart. So even though their heart may have like, I want to connect with you. I want to contact you. The brain is like, nope, nope. You know what happens? You're gonna get hurt again because in the heart, their brain telling their heart, you're gonna get hurt again if you contact and you go this because look, they're already showing signs that you aren't good enough, and so they withdraw and they run. It's the fight. It's the flight in fight or flight. They're just like, no, no, I'm not going to be good enough, or I'm not making them happy. I'm doing something wrong, right? So there's this energy of fear of failing, fear of not being enough that's bubbling below the surface here. Yeah. And here's even the Justice card. You can see they have the Ace of Swords and the scales. And so the scales start off way out of balance. They've got and what they're showing me is like the scales, the most they can go out of balance, they're out of balance. There's nothing on that scale up there, and this one is piled full of these little tiny swords, which are all of the small t truths that are rooted in fear. All these fears of failing, all these times they were punished and told that they weren't enough and you need to do better. And it's like I almost feel like maybe parents or a parent was always like anything they did was not celebrated, but okay, now you need to do this. It wasn't like, good job, I'm so happy for you. Now let's try to raise that and do this. No, like very little reward. Only, all right, next thing is this. Next thing is this. It's not enough. You need to do more. It's not enough. You need to do more. It's not enough. You need to be more, do more. And it just feels like all this energy that was there. Yeah, I mean, all of this has to do with all of this. I mean, all this swords, all of these 5 cards all have to do with fear and thoughts and beliefs and mindsets. We have the Ace of Swords and the Page of Swords, which, when we're talking about that way out of balance scale, that one up there, that's where the capital T truths that are rooted in unconditional love instead of fear are at. And what I love is for them, it's going to be a while before they would ever connect, though, because we've got the Hanged Man along with these Ace of Swords and Page of Swords. The Hanged Man is like a caterpillar going into a cocoon to transform, right? And this transformation is that they're starting to question these small t truths of fear, and they're being introduced to that there are higher truths that can help transform these and help balance the scales to where there is feelings of worth and they're not rolled by fear. But they are in this cocoon, they are in this process of beginning, just like the very beginnings of a cocoon, where they're realizing that there's gotta be something more, because it's almost like they're at a point where I can't live like this, in this state of constant fear of not being enough and, failure, right? It's like they learned, I can't go try to do anything unless I know I'm going to, you know, be perfect at it and hit it out of the ballpark, because otherwise it's failure. It's kind of like this black and white world where they're all or nothing. And so, that's what's going on. It's not about you. This is about all of their fears and that fear of failure. So hopefully that helps, Gatuta. But I wouldn't look for like energy, kind of that's coming in there. Dinah, I need to head off here, and I do apologize. I will here in about an hour and a half. I will come back on and complete all the donations first and dive deeper into those as well. Um, but I do have I still have like a handful of donations to do, but I'm like, um, you won't be able to come back in and rewatch it. Um, yeah, Brenda, I did complete yours. Yeah, yeah, you'll see them tomorrow. Um, if you're going to sleep, then and they'll be available. They're all done there. Um, yeah, and I appreciate that you want them now, but I do have a commitment to my you know praying mantis members, which their session is starting here in 2 minutes. So and I do apologize, Dana. Um, and spirit knows. So it will be available to you though as soon as you are able to get in there. They do you know it'll be recorded and you'll be able to jump in there. I'll have it listed, the order in which all the readings are completed, so you'll be able to find your reading very quickly as well. So I'm so sorry. um Yeah, and I'm so sorry because I'm like getting ready to go here. Yeah, so I'm sorry. I let's see here. Let me just see what your questions are here. If you're not wanting many details, then I'm gonna have like 60 seconds to give it to you. I can do that for you. I just hate not giving you your full due diligence. Let's see. Your first question is Daniel, let's see. Is Daniel recognized? Did he treat you wrong and eventually change his behavior towards you? And the second one is, what is he expecting for you in the moment? All right, so we'll pull quick cards here for you. All right, so the first one is, did he recognize he'll treat you wrong and eventually change his behavior towards you? You know, I feel here with that, with the Page of Swords and the Knight of Swords, I don't feel like he will, Diana. I mean, this is that he would have to really change his way of perceiving things and really look at things very differently. But I just don't feel like like they they get it. I with these cards, it's like their fears and their way of looking at life, like their thoughts and beliefs and mindsets are, I didn't treat you wrong. This is normal treatment. With these, I don't feel like they get it, you know? I just feel like they're, you know, it's how they were raised. It's their belief system and they kind of have this all or nothing mentality where if I am wrong, that means I'm either perfect or a failure. There's no gray in their world. So they can't admit that they did anything wrong. And so like in their mind, I did no wrong. I can't do wrong, otherwise I'm a failure. So it's kind of almost like bordering narcissism a little bit where they can't admit that they're wrong because then that's devastating and that just their whole world falls apart. And I kind of feel like with this, like they won't admit, apologize, and they're just like they're gonna like look at you like, what are you talking about? You know, you're the one that did this and this. They would end up blaming you for things instead of that one, right? What is he expecting from you in this moment? Let's see here. And, you know, with the Nine of Pentacles, they're kind of, you know, looking here at being to themselves. And um, the Knight of Wands and the Five of Wands, the Knight of Wands is passion, and the Five of Wands is drama, you know? So from their standpoint, you know, it feels like what they're looking at here, you know, with you is that they're, you know, um, they like intimacy, they like passion, they like, you know, that kind of energy and those types of things. But, you know, we've got with the Five of Wands, I just feel like they've got this if you don't do and be and act how I want you to be, there's like this drama. They just think you're dramatic and that they're like, um, you know, what they expect from you is, you know, do what I want you to do or there's drama. And I just feel like there's no leeway with him here. This kind of energy coming in here. I mean, you're really interested in this guy, but I really don't, you know, I just feel like it's gonna end in drama, you know, if that makes sense. So that's what that's what they have there for you, Diana. I feel like there's someone more that would be more compatible for you, you know, down the road there. So, you know, I just feel like that they won't apologize, they wouldn't admit that they're doing anything wrong, and then that they would end up turning around and putting it on you. So, right. So, I would wanna go more into it with you here, but I'm already 3 minutes late, so thank you again, and I'm sorry, you know, that, you waited for so long, but, that's generally normally how it works, so for the future, if I don't get to you, just know that I would come back. So now that you're aware of it, just know that's how that works here. For everyone else, I'm taking quick screenshots here. I will complete all of the donations first when I return, and then also all of the free readings as well. I didn't get to any of the free readings in this session, so I will complete them all today upon the return. All right. So I'm just taking screenshots here. And let's see here. I think. Okay, let me see. I think I lost my place here real quick. So it happens when you do things in a rush here. So, all right, here it is right here. All right. So I do have all the screenshots taken care of there. And thank you guys again so much for all your patience and all your love and all your support. I greatly appreciate you. And remember, every second of every day of your lives, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the mother and the father of all things, our creator, And of course, I love you too. So until I see you guys again, much love. Hang in there. Take care of yourselves. And we'll see you soon. If you want anything in the meantime, I have a ton of other things, um, available on my main page too, if you want something to look at in the meantime. So much love. We'll see you soon.